Good afternoon if you're in South Africa. Good evening, good morning, wherever you tuned in around the world. It's the Carling Black Label Currie Cup this Friday, and we're kicking off round 7. It's the Pumas hosting the Vodacom Bulls at home. The Bulls flying high at the top of the table. The Pumas lingering in 4th place, so they'll be looking for a victory here this afternoon, no doubt. It's going to be difficult to beat this Bulls side who just seem to be getting into their own under coach Piwe Nomlomo. And it's going to be an exciting clash. We're in Nelspruit at the Mbembela Stadium. And the conditions overhead, underfoot, perfect for running rugby. I'm going to take you through the starting teams and their finishes in just a moment. But before I do, hit the like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, share the link with your friends and family. It's a rugby journey this weekend. Of course, we look forward to the Springboks tomorrow against Australia in round 2 of the Rugby Championship. So this, a little taste, a little teaser this afternoon, the Carling Black Label Currie Cup. Of course, the All Blacks will play their game against Argentina in round 2 prior to the Springbok game. And that, of course, will be live here on Forever Sports with Stevie P, the captain, taking you through that journey tomorrow. But before we get there, of course, we've got the Pumas hosting the Blue Bulls in Nelspruit at the Mbombela Stadium. And as I said, I'm going to take you through the starting teams, starting with the home side, the Pumas. At 1, Etienne Janaka, Edouard Swart, Sampi Swiggers, Malembe Mpofu, Shane Kirkwood, the captain, Nsika Fasanti, Anele Lungisa, and Kwanda Dimaza making up the forward pack of the Pumas. We've got Ross Bode, Clinton Swart, Darren Adonis, Vian van die Kerk, David Brits, Stefan Kutsia, and Tino Swanepoel. On the bench, Darnell Usagu, Dewart Maritz, Munashe Mere, Jeandre Leonard, Andre Fouché, Godlin Masimla, Denrich Versace, and Pico Sobatle, who's been in a hot vein of form in terms of try scoring, got a couple in the last couple of weeks. Not a good result for the Pumas, of course, last week against the Lions, conceding over 50 points there. For the Bulls, from 1 to 15, Dylan Smith, Joe van Sale, Mornay Smith, Sintu Manjezi, Janis Kirsten, Namakaba, Merve Olivier, the captain Nizam Kar making up the forward pack there. Keegan Johannes at scrum half, Puta Chamberlain at the 10 jersey. We used to seeing him obviously at full back, but taking first 5 for the last couple of weeks. Sibongile Novuka, Chris Barron-Smith, Cornell Smith, Kanan Moody getting ready for the Springboks when the All Blacks come, I'm sure, and Devin Williams. Juan Elsa, Jacques van Rooyen, Kutazani Mchunu, Kyle Brink, Selampilo Gumede, so much spoken about him, the loose forward, Bernard van der Linde, Jaco van der Walt, and Katlego Letebele making up the replacement for the Bulls. The referee, the man in charge in the middle, Kwengile Jadazweni, and he will be in close consultation, I'm sure, throughout the game, as we've seen the evolution of rugby with the TMO, Marius van der Westhuizen. As we look at the conditions, perfect overhead, underfoot, and we're just about underway at the Mbombela Stadium in Nelspruit. Welcome to everyone who's tuned in, and it is Puta Chamberlain who gets us underway from right to left, and he goes down the center of the park, outside the 22, but it's gathered by the Pumas there. Sampi Swiggers going in just to secure the ball, but it's going to be Clinton Swart who receives it from his scrum off and immediately puts a kick downfield, but the Bulls regather via Devin Williams. Strong left foot from the fullback, of course, comes from the Pumas, but making a name for himself, especially in the URC this season, Devin Williams. It's another kick from Clinton Swart, but gathered by Puta Chamberlain, and the Bulls try to free up Kanan Moody as they work themselves up to halfway. Just held up by a couple of defenders there, but they set up a ruck. It's Johannes to Mornay Smith. Johannes Kirsten goes in to make sure that ball is secure, and it looks as if Keegan Johannes will shape from the base with a kick here, just on his own 10-meter mark, about 15 meters in from this right-hand touchline. As it goes into Pumas territory, the ball is loose. It's play on, says the referee, and the Pumas look to run immediately. We know they're full of running, but strong defense from the Bulls there. But they set up a ruck, and it is the Pumas who are in possession at the moment via Ross Broad. Keeping it tight for the moment, just stuck outside their own 22, so he doesn't have the safety of the 22 to kick it out, so he'll put it up for a contestable kick. Tucked up against this left-hand touchline, Devin Williams gathers and immediately looks to shift it to Johannes Kirsten, who gets over the advantage line. Keegan Johannes, the Bulls recycle quickly here. There's space on this right-hand side, Nizamkar. It's the outside centre, David Brits. As they set up another ruck, it's quick ball from the Bulls. Nizamkar to Mornay Smith. They switch from left to right. Positive play here from the Bulls. They're on the 10-meter mark of the Pumas now. Etienne Yannicka taking it up the loose head prop. Stuck on the 10-meter line, so not getting over the advantage line on that occasion. The Pumas trying to disrupt it. But it's quick recycling from Keegan Johannes as he looks for a kick over the top, but well covered by Adonis. Darren Adonis in possession, feeds Anele Lungisa, but he's lost it forward. Strong defense from the Bulls. And we will have our first scrum 3 minutes in. Talking about a scrum, it was so interesting last week when the All Blacks went down to Argentina. There wasn't a single scrum up until well over the hour mark, in fact. But yeah, immediately we see a scrum being set up for the Bulls. Just lost forward in contact there. Anele Lungisa met hard by the defender, and the Bulls will have the first opportunity here to set some dominance at scrum time with the feed via Keegan Johannes. Do give your score predictions in the comments section, who you're supporting. Even if you're not a Bulls or Puma supporter, we're all rugby supporters. As things start to cook up for tomorrow's game with the Springboks in Australia, in Perth. A massive South African following in Perth. It's going to be interesting to see the crowd attendance, how it pans out for the home side. No favours will be done for them, I'm sure, South Africa. The topic of the world at the moment, the world in awe of how they're playing. The bottom line is they're keeping it basic. Can the Bulls win clean ball? Yes, they do. And it's Devin Williams who joins the line. He puts a little grubber through for Novuka. But again, great covering from Adonis. Massive hit there from the Bulls, number 7, Marvitt Willowfield. But somehow the Pumas recycle and they go down this left-hand touchline via Stefan Kutsia. He managed to feed his support on that occasion. And it's Ross Broad who feeds one of his tight forwards as they recycle now. It's Lungisa out in the trams. And away come the Pumas for the first try. Can they do it? Little Fend. Wonderful work there. They just couldn't hold on to it. And it's Marvitt Willowfield who cleans up for the Bulls. He could sniff the try line there. But on that occasion, it was Kwanda Dimaze, or actually, in fact, Nsika Fisanti, with the fend off. And within 3 meters from the try line, just couldn't hold on to it. And the Pumas have come close, showing their attacking intent early on here in round 7 of the Currie Cup. but it's the Bulls who will have a scrum about 15, 18 meters in from this right-hand touchline to try and exit here and relieve some pressure. It's Keegan Johannes to feed. It's a pickup from Nizam Kar. Back to Johannes. It's efficient. It's not flashy, but the ball's still in play. And here come the Pumas via Donis to Tino Swanepoel, looking to shift his feet. Didn't dart his way around the defense, but he's caught on the Bulls' 10-meter line here. It's Visanti again in the thick of things here. This time around, it's Kwanda Dimaza. And the Pumas over the advantage line. Visanti carrying well, brought to ground. And this time, it's Edwin Swart who takes it up. So the forwards getting stuck in here for the Pumas. He's thrown it away. It's an interception. Vian van Niekerk kicks it upfield. Who's chasing for the Bulls? We've gone from one end to another. Donis can't gather. Shot time! David Brits. You go. The Blue Bulls score. And they get the first 5-pointer. 7 minutes into this game. In fact, it's Cornell Smith. I beg your pardon. Not David Brits. I read out the Pumas outside centre. It's the Bulls. Cornell Smith who gets the try. The kick upfield earlier was from Chris Barron-Smith. It couldn't be gathered cleanly by Darren Adonis. And the Bulls get the first 5-pointer after almost conceding to the Pumas. The Bulls respond immediately. And it's Keegan Johannes to attempt. The conversion is good. It's sailing. It's over. A loose ball thrown into the hands of Chris Barron-Smith. Did well to chase the kick, but his centre partner, Cornell Smith, was on hand to pick up the loose ball, and it's a 7-pointer for the Bulls. The restart from the Pumas here. Conceding early at the Mbombela Stadium. It's the away side who strike first. It's deep. It's into the hands of Nizam Kar, deep in the 22. 5 meters in from this left-hand touchline. Keegan Johannes feeds Janus Kirsten, who's met hard on the gain line, but just looking for a better angle. Yeah, Keegan Johannes puts it high, and this time around does find an efficient touch. We will restart for a line out to the Pumas. Just about on the Bulls' 10-meter mark on this left-hand touchline. The Pumas, of course, lingering in that 4th spot. They know a victory here is non-negotiable. The Bulls unbeaten so far this season. All victories, barring that one draw against the Cheetahs, of course, in that exciting game in round 5. And this time around, the Pumas at set play can't find their range. Or in fact, the referee, Kwengile Jadazweni, has called them back. They'll look to Shane Kirkwood. They find him. It's the Pumas who get clean ball from the line out. It's the inside centre, Vian van Niekerk, who takes it up, but again, lost in contact. And Nizam Kar, they look to switch defence to attack here. Novuka got a couple of tries after a long layoff last week. Good to see him back in action, Sibongile Novuka. But no advantage there for the Bulls. They will come back for the scrum. Vian van Niekerk. But David Brits, in fact, just couldn't hold on to it. The Bulls transitioning well there, but just running out of space on this right-hand side. And the referee are judging no advantage. We'll come back for the scrum. The Bulls still stuck inside their own half. They've got, of course, the exciting Kanan Moody on the right wing. Yeah, there is a blind side available. Will we see a pickup from Nizam Khan and going blind? Keegan Johannes with ball in hand. Strong scrum. Solid from both teams. They do go down the blind, but it's Johannes who feeds Butcher Chamberlain. Tries to free up the arms. It's backwards, says the referee, to Keegan Johannes and Nizam Khan ever present. Up to the Pumas 10-meter mark here. Namakaba takes it up, but he's met hard on the gain line. Short ball to Kanan Moody. Just can't break free. Wouldn't we love to see him do his thing as he prepares to get back into that Springbok team? No doubt he'll be in the conversation when we host the All Blacks in a couple of weeks. It's Byron Smith again puts it to boot. And this time around, Adonis can't collect it cleanly again. Another error. The first one cost them a try. This time, territorial position on the field. The Bulls into the 22 of the Pumas now. It's simple stuff. Give it to Chris Byron Smith. Put it along the ground. Nice low kick. And Darren Adonis just couldn't deal with the bouncing ball along the ground. The Bulls with an attacking line-out opportunity here. Joe van Sale to feed to Nizam Khan. Sintu Manjesi over the advantage line. The Bulls coming around the corner hard was Nizam Khan again. The captain, it's Keegan Johannes to Janus Kirsten. It's relentless from the Bulls. It looks like a pick and go here for Mavulafi. Advantage, says the referee. They got a free play here. Can the Bulls do something there? Down this left-hand touchline. Quick hands. They can do something there. And it's there in that left-hand corner for that man, Sibongile Novuka. Try time. Into double figures. The referee just having some consultation with the assistant on this left-hand touchline. But the try is good. And the Bulls, for the moment, a point a minute. 13 minutes in or 12-0 up with the conversion to come. Quick hands from Butcher Chamberlain, Devin Williams. And then to finish off in this left-hand corner was Sibongile Novuka. You beauty! It's a tough conversion, however, for Keegan Johannes. Right up against this left-hand touchline. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Takes one last look. It's the direction we're looking for. It's sailing and shaving the right hand upright. It will stay at 12-0, folks. But an exciting start here for the Bulls nonetheless. Try to Cornell Smith, try to Sibongile Novuka. And the Bulls want to take this in 5s and 7s if they can. The Pumas in danger of letting this game get away from them. Deep into the 22, the restart goes. Nizam Khan on hand to gather the restart. They're still inside the 22. There is safety to exit towards this left-hand touchline. Keegan Johannes looking to dig the ball out. Looking for a good angle. Puts it high. This time decides to keep it in field. It's contestable. But it's gathered by the Pumas. Demaza takes it up. And here come the Pumas now. Can they respond on the 10-meter line of the Bulls center field? Ross Broad looks to feed down this left-hand touchline. Adonis from his left wing on this right end. Or right wing, should I say. Wriggles his way past one, but he's brought to ground. Now the Pumas making some ground. Up and towards the 22 they go. The Bulls shutting them down on that occasion. Just caught behind the gain line. Ross Broad. The ball out the back. Clinton Swart feeding Sampi Swiggers. Sintu Manjesi looking to make a nuisance of himself. But they need to translate this time in possession into some sort of territorial advantage on the field, or at least eke out a penalty and get some points on the board. The Pumas desperate to get over the advantage line, for the moment still stuck by this resolute Bulls defence. Ross Broad. Van Niekerk finds the right wing there. Stefan Kutsia looking for work. They're playing down this right-hand touchline. It's Devin Williams. It's kicked over the top, and he's taken the mark and immediately pumps it upfield. No stranger to the Mbombela Stadium. What a kick from Devin Williams. Absolutely brilliant. On the mark, on the money. Simply sensational. Took the ball out of the air, took the mark, and wasted no time with the kick. The former Puma player coming into his own in this Bull side and showed exactly what class he is on that occasion, taking it right up 5 meters from the Pumas try line. So we've seen on a couple of occasions the Pumas threatening, and all of a sudden they blink their eyes and they find themselves stuck on their own try line. But that was a moment of brilliance, no doubt, from Devin Williams. But as we close in on this first quarter, it's the Bulls who are dominating in terms of possession and territory. Time is off for the moment. Playing in the right areas of the field and then converting that pressure into points. Simple as and effective, as we say. The Pumas are going to have to respond. What's your score prediction, folks? Eric Davison, you're in the comments saying, pleased to catch that. Was the first try out wide. It was initially the Pumas had possession inside the Bulls 22, and then a loose pass was intercepted by Chris Barron-Smith, who hoofed it upfield with the boot, and then the chase was on. The left winger of the Pumas, Darren Adonis, couldn't gather the ball cleanly, and it was Cornell Smith who scored the try. So wonderful kick chase from the Bulls, capitalizing on that error, and here come the Bulls. As plays restarted with the line out, they're walking this maul. It's all pressure from the Bulls. There's no response. Kwengile Jadozweni on hand says, that's a try. Surely now. Yes, it is. Who's the man who comes up with it? It's try time. It's try number 3 for the Bulls. And it's Joe Van Sale, the hooker. Controlled the ball at the back of that maul, but the resistance was just about non-existent from the Pumas. And the Bulls making real headway here to get their bonus point within half an hour. It's a point a minute for the moment. It's Keegan Johannes, who's got 1 from 2 so far. This one relatively easier compared to his last kick up against that left-hand touchline. Takes one last look, Keegan Johannes, and puts it through the uprights. It's over. And it is, in fact, a point a minute. We're closing off the first quarter, and the Bulls are up by 19 points to 0. It must be disheartening as a Pumas player to play on the opposite end of the field, and all of a sudden one moment of brilliance. And it's converted try. The Bulls up by 19 points to 0. Clinton Swart with a deja vu moment there. This time decides to put it high and just outside the 22. Well gathered there from Sintu Manjezi. And it's Keegan Johannes. We'll look for the contestable kick. And unfortunately on this occasion, has not been able to keep it in field. The ball was swirling. A little wry smile from Keegan Johannes there, but an opportunity for the Pumas, no doubt. They have to capitalize now. There's just no other option. The Bulls scoring at will here. In fact, it's bounced off the head of Sibongile Novuka, who was outside the field of play. So an error there from Keegan Johannes, but it's a line-out win for Anele Lungisa. And the Pumas into the 22. Centre field, over the advantage line. It's Broad, Ross Broad, feeding Lungisa again. In the thick of things, Clinton Swart looking for space. But he's wrapped up by Sintu Manjezi. Their great tackle by the lock forward. Some big hits from the Bulls up to this point. Can they keep it up? 10 metres in from this left-hand touchline. 8 metres from the Bulls' try line. The Pumas just not able to be efficient. An unforced error. It's a knock-on at ruck time. Unfortunately, there, Kwanda Dimaza just losing it in contact there, but it was a double hit. Mornay Smith amongst them, putting in the hit there, forcing the turnover. And the Pumas can ill afford any unforced errors at this point, trailing by 19 points. The Bulls, no doubt, will look to exit here. The Bulls have been in the Pumas 22 on 3 occasions, and they've scored 3 tries. That's the blueprint you want if you're a coach. Lovely pickup from the base there, from Nizam Khan. Keegan Johannes feeds Butcher Chamberlain with some quick ball. There's lots of space out wide, and again, Adonis has to go chasing back. He finds his fullback, Tino Swanepoel, who kicks it back to the Bulls, and they come running up and over beyond. Halfway now, in possession. Over that ball there was the lock forward of the Pumas, Malembe Mpofu, but the referee judging him to be offside. Not doing the work you're supposed to do to get behind the kicker. On that occasion, it was Tino Swanepoel. So some lazy running from the lock forward, Malembe Mpofu there. And the Bulls have a penalty on the 10-metre mark here of the Pumas. And they're going to put it into touch. They're looking for the bonus point already. We're just about 23 minutes into this clash. It's Butcher Chamberlain, entrusted with the boot to kick it into touch. He does so safely. The Bulls up and onto the 22 of the Pumas there. So just a little bit of lazy running. Not doing enough, according to the referee, Jadazweni there. And the Bulls hot on the attack into the 22 of the Pumas. A little bit of a loose line out there. Keegan Johannes has to clean it up. The Bulls do so. Namakaba. Merva Ullafield going in to clean. Giannis Kirsten looking to break away with the pick and go. The Bulls have lost some ground now, but looking to make up for it. It's Butcher Chamberlain. Nofuka. Looking to come with the soft pass, but just losing it in contact, but playing under advantage for the Bulls there. And the referee now just having a conversation with the Pumas, saying We don't want to be giving away too many penalties in this area of the field. Otherwise, I'll be looking to my pocket, young man. If you like the colour yellow, carry on doing what you're doing. It's the Bulls who have a penalty here as we see some attention to Sampie Swiggers. He looks okay. He'll fight the fight. Just over 15 minutes left in this first half. The Pumas, on that occasion, caught offside, and an opportunity now for the Bulls to dig in here and look for a bonus point. They're only about 8 meters out with this line-out set play. Joe Van Sale, who's got a try already, finds Mav Willefear in the middle of the line-out, and here they go, mauling again. It's going forward at a rate of knots. It's Joe Van Sale. It's try. Just like that, the Bulls score the bonus point try. Keeping up with the theme at a point a minute. And he's got a brace. No doubt he'll be looking for a hat-trick. But it's all too easy for the Vodacom Bulls at the moment. Here at the Mbombela Stadium, the home side have absolutely no answer. If you're mauling like that, beyond disheartening, it's tiring. How much will it take out of these players, especially the defense? What will the attrition rate look like in that second half? The Bulls, of course, have Selampilo Gumede, Kyle Brink, Katlego Letebele, amongst others. Kutazani Mchunu to bring on. All are great players in their own right. And that's a wonderful conversion from Keegan Johannes. Just showing his troops, let's continue this momentum. You can see what it means to them. And there's a reason they're at the top of the table after round 6. And the way things are going right now, the Pumas are in dire straits. Clinton Swart with the restart. Nizam Carter, Butcher Chamberlain makes no mistake with the clearance. Finds a good 30-odd meters. And we're up and just over the Bulls' 10-meter mark for a line out to the Pumas here. So efficient play from the exit there for the Bulls. As we get closer to that half-hour mark, 4 unanswered tries, 3 of them converted. Cornell Smith, Sibongile Novuka, and 2 for Joe Van Sale. Puts the score at 26-0. The line-out is good. This time, Kwengile Jadazweni has his arm out to the Pumas. There's some sort of reprieve. Can they make something of the free play here? No, they can't, but they'll come back for the penalty. Tino Swanepoel wrapped up there. Coming in from the side, Nizam Kar just looking for a bit of clarity from the referee. And 3 is not going to do it. Clinton Swart will look for this left-hand touchline and try and find as much territory as he can. And another unforced error. Would you believe it? Look to eke out just a little bit too much, Clinton Swart. And the Bulls will have the put into the scrum. That's a coach killer, no doubt. Trying to put it right on the button on the 5-meter mark. But just swirling over the dead ball line. And the Pumas' woes, the errors, are compounding for the moment. Centre field, just up over the Bulls' 10-meter mark. It's Keegan Johannes to feed. I think for the most part, Eric, it's the unforced errors that are killing them for the moment. If you look at that penalty kick, the perfect opportunity to set up a line out in the Bulls 22 and build from there. And they find themselves on the receiving end of a scrum here. and the Bulls can play the territory game. It's Keegan Johannes with ball in hand. They've scrummed well, must be said. Close to the half-hour mark, 0 points to show for anything. They haven't really been in this game, the Bulls. Clearly dominant. Johannes. Dummies left and then goes right. Cornell Smith, it's Kanan Moody. He breaks away from 1, 2, looks to free up Cornell Smith again. The Bulls hot on attack here. Can they find themselves in a position to score their 5th try within half an hour? Sintuman Jersey, it's out the back. Witter Chamberlain, Chris Boren, Smith is met hard by Anele Lungisa, who looks to rip the ball clear. But Namakaba cleans up for the Bulls. They've gone back a good 15 meters, but still in possession. Keegan Johannes, Cornell Smith, Kanan Moody takes on 2 defenders and just loses it in contact. But it's another penalty advantage. The tally's just going up and up in favor of the Bulls against the Pumas. And Kanan Moody down. Don't tell us that. Took a little bit of a knock to the jaw there. We need you ready, son. The All Blacks are coming to town. As he looked to take on 2 defenders there, Kanan Moody. Just took a bit of a high shot from Clinton Swart. Surely they're going to have a look at that. Witter Chamberlain with ball in hand. No reference to the TMO there. Clinton Swart can count himself rather fortunate. But into touch via the boot of Witter Chamberlain. With the position the Pumas have had, they've carried well, but they've lost the ball in contact on numerous occasions. They've only got themselves to blame for it. Nodakaza Nkosi, welcome. Saying, go Bulls. Albert van Lingen, Vrystaat. Big game for Free State tomorrow, no doubt. But playing some good rugby in the Currie Cup. Keeping the pressure on the Bulls. They played a good game a couple of weeks ago. The toughest game for the Bulls to this point. And the Bulls win the line out. It's Keegan Johannes centre field now. Sets up a ruck for Janus Kirsten, who's met hard. Namataba, the former Western Province player. Lovely little chip through from Devin Williams. Cornell Smith into the gap. Just couldn't find his support. But the referee says offside. Just in front of the kicker there. Fortuitous for the Pumas that he just got his timing wrong. Or in fact, the referee's coming back for a legal clean-out. He was onside. But the Pumas will have an opportunity to exit. Conditions are near perfect. There's not much wind, Eric. So from where I'm looking, the Bulls are playing from right to left in this first half. Not quite sure if that's downhill or uphill, but it's a feed here for the Pumas. They've put it into touch. Edwin Swart, clean ball. The Pumas need to get on the front foot but maintain possession. Advantage, says the referee. Sealing off the ball there was Janus Kirsten. So 2 penalties in succession here will get the Pumas into the Bulls' half. And with a little over 7 minutes, 6 minutes in this first half, they need some points desperately. This time around, Clinton Swart taking another gamble, but it's paid off with the kick to touch. And the Pumas deep inside the Bulls 22 right now. They just have to get on their bicycle and score here. The Bulls have been strong on defense. They've also slipped one or two tackles, but haven't really had to defend for extensive periods. Making some big hits in midfield. It's Kirkwood, the captain, and the Pumas look for a driving maul of their own. Can the Bulls stifle it? Use it once, says the referee. The Pumas look to go forward. It's advantage. The Bulls in all sorts of trouble in that maul. It's a free play here for the Pumas. It's the scrum half taking it into his own hands there. Ross Broad, 5 meters out now, under advantage. They've got to make it count, the Pumas. Pick and go there from Malemba Mpofu. Nsika Fasanti taking it up now, just about 2 meters short. The Bulls in unfamiliar territory here in this first half. Right on their own try line. Broad. Can they find the space they need? No, they can't. It's lost in contact again. Looked like Vian van Niekerk there who just couldn't hold on to it. But we see the game's first yellow card. It's Cornell Smith, the outside centre, who's going to take pretty much 5 minutes of the first half and then 5 minutes in the second half to sit down and rethink. His error there, the referee having no patience in the danger zone. Time running out in this first half for the Pumas there, but it's put into touch on this left-hand touchline by Clinton Swart. Playing the ball on the ground, right in front of the referee. Cornell Smith there has looked good up to this point. He won't be happy with that. But the Pumas playing with the one-man advantage here. They've got to make it count. They don't. The maul has gone to nothing, and the Bulls will get the put into the scrum. Putting all the effort in, but just in the moment where it matters, the Pumas just not able to capitalize and finish there. The Bulls, of course, playing with 14 men, stayed in the maul, and wonderful work from Sentu Manjezi, getting in the thick of things. 5 meters out from the own try line. The Bulls don't want to concede just yet. Johan Solomon says, go Bulls. We've got some Bull supporters here. Yeah, buddy. Good a turnaround in the second half. Bulls kicking more. The Pumas are going to have to find some manna from heaven to turn this one around. But we've seen stranger things happen. We've got to look at the benches as well. These players won't be able to continue for the full 80. And with the likes of Gumere and Letebele on the bench for the Bulls, I'm sure it's going to have an impact to stabilize this lead. For the moment, it's 26 points to 0. 4 tries to 0. They've got the bonus point in the bank. Now they've just got to keep the pressure on. We see the gesture there from Nizam Karsay. Give it everything in the scrum. Let's get out of here. It's been a near perfect first half. They've capitalized on errors, yes. But you make your own luck too with strong defense. No doubt the Bulls, deserved leaders for the moment, with just over 3 minutes to play. The Pumas will look to put some pressure on the Bulls, no doubt. 5 meters in from this left-hand touchline, 5 meters out from the Bulls try line. Will we see a pickup? and run around the corner on this right-hand side from Nizam Kar, who's been full of running. There it is. Looking to eke out some meters and change the angle for Keegan Johannes. Johannes Kirsten just going in, amongst others, to secure that ball. Keegan Johannes at the base. Keeps it low, but keeps it true. It's into touch. The Bulls still just about on their own 22 on this left-hand touchline. Just outside their 22, in fact. And it's really now or never for the Pumas. They have to start by winning the line out. There's a couple of Smiths. This is not Chris Smith. He's moved on overseas. We've got Chris Barron Smith and we've got Cornell Smith. Chris Smith is gone overseas. He's the one who usually plays at 10, or did for the Bulls. And the Pumas do win the line out. It's Ross Broad. And it's a pickup from Dimaza around the corner. The Vodacom Bulls looking to counter via Namakaba. The referee says, leave it alone, son. It's Mpofu who takes it up and gets over the advantage line. They need something more than just getting over the advantage line. They need some ideas here. What does the referee say there? Was that deliberate from Butter Chamberlain? If it is, we might see another yellow card. Hold on, folks. Is there some drama? Looked like he was trying to catch it. Fair play, Butter Chamberlain. No deliberate knockdown, but it's going to be a scrum to the Pumas into the last minute of the first half. Andrew Thompson, my score for the Bulls, 54-14. GG Bulls. Thank you for that score prediction, and thank you for tuning in, everybody. Do tell me from where you are watching, whether South Africa or around the world, as we're getting geared up for the all-important clash. Of course, tomorrow, South Africa and Australia. But preceding that is New Zealand, Argentina, 9 o'clock. South Africa in Perth at 11:45. And then don't forget, Sunday morning, UFC 305. Our boy, Dricus du Plessis up against Israel Adesanya for the middleweight championship of the world. We saw Dricus spend some time with the Springboks. Will that be the lucky omen? Here's an opportunity for the Pumas. The last pass to Stefan Kutsia from Lungisa, just going forward there, but playing under advantage. There will still be some time in this first half for the Pumas to get some sort of return. They've changed the balance of the territory in this first half, spending some time in the Bulls 22. But they need something to show for it. Off his feet there was Keegan Johannes. Immediately knew he was at fault. The referee calling them back for the penalty. Clinton Swart putting it into touch. And Shane Kirkwood getting the line-out ball 5 meters out from this right-hand touchline. It's a strong maul from the Pumas. This time around, they do score. They get 5 points for their efforts with the conversion to come. A dominant performance from the Bulls. But it is the hooker, Edwin Swart, saying to Joe Van Sale, you did it twice, it must be nice. Let me do it too. And the Pumas have their first points of the game. The Bulls, of course, still playing a man short. There'll be a man short for that second half for about 5 minutes. still in control of the game, ahead by 26 points to 5, but Clinton Swart, just on the stroke or beyond the stroke of half time, has the opportunity to add the extra 2. And perhaps the Pumas are saying we can make a game of this. Clinton Swart with the conversion attempt. It's wide. It's staying 26 points to 5, folks. An exciting first half. As we take a look at the comments here, Rudolph Smith saying, listening from the US. Lekker boys! Andrew Thompson, I'm from South Africa. We're in South Africa, brother. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back, or I'll be back for the second half. The Bulls up by 26 points to 5 at the Mbombela Stadium in Nelspruit in round 7 of the Carling Black Label Currie Cup. Stay tuned. Get your coffee, get your sip of beer, get your dinner ready. You've got 15 minutes. We'll be back for the second half shortly. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back here on Forever Sports. We're just underway in the second half, and it's the Vodacom Bulls who lead the Pumas here at the Mbombela Stadium in Nelspruit by 26 points to 5. Thank you to every single one of you who've tuned in. Seth Kellett says 55-35. To who? I'm gathering you're saying the Bulls. Andrew is from Rustenburg, Northwest. Shout out, Rustenburg. As the Pumas are in possession now, strong counter-attack from the Bulls, but somehow Ross Broad finds his captain Shane Kirkwood there. He's met hard on defence, but recycling the ball and out there to help clean is Anele Lungisa as Ross Broad looks for the kick clearance. It's contestable. It's the Pumas who get it back. Can they find themselves an opportunity to capitalise while the Bulls are still down to 14? Clinton Swart looking for Fisanti. He's brought to ground and the Bulls immediately look to clear it with the loose pass. But playing under advantage there, Joe Van Sale, the man penalised by the referee. It's a dangerous tackle. There's a no-nonsense approach. And the experience of Kwengile Jadazweni, you're not going to get away with that one. All of a sudden, the Pumas, 15 metres out from the Bulls' try line, on this left-hand touchline, set up a line-out play. Wouldn't they love to score right now? To feed is Edwin Swart for the Pumas. To Shane Kirkwood it goes as they look for another driving maul. Taking the blueprint from the Bulls. Looking to go forward, the Bulls doing well. Edwin Swart breaks away. They're only 3 metres out now. Ross Broad finding Fisanti, wrestling his way, but met on the gain line, and here come the Pumas. Etienne Yanaka. It's shifted right down this left-hand side, and all of a sudden, the Pumas are in via Darren Adonis. Here's a try. They're right back in it. They're up to 10 points with the conversion to come. They played the right-hand side and then the left-hand blind with the lovely skip pass from the scrum half. It was a walk-in try for Darren Adonis. And the Pumas, well, they will feel they're right back in this. The Bulls have got to keep their composure. They've done such great work in that first half. But it's the Pumas fighting back just before half-time with the try by Edwin Swart, and this time around just after half-time via Darren Adonis. Textbook stuff before half-time, after half-time. The conversion is over. Clinton Swart this time around has his compass boots set to true north. Then true north is between the uprights. The Pumas up and trail by 2 scores. It's 26-12. As the Bulls just about look to welcome back Cornell Smith with that yellow card. The restart is from Buddha Chamberlain and the Bulls. Giving away another penalty, and Ross Broad looks to break away quickly. The Pumas speeding the game up here now, looking to capitalise on that one-man advantage. Puts it to boot. And all of a sudden, the Bulls are stuck inside their own 22. Have they flipped the script here? I preempted that the Bulls would run away with this one, but the Pumas, of course, dangerous. When the chips are down, they'll never stop playing, and on that occasion, the scrum-off did well to clear that ball and get some real territory, but the Bulls win the line out. Butter Chamberlain The Bulls, for the first time, playing under their own sort of pressure here. Stuck just about on their 22 with that clearance from Chamberlain. What's your score prediction now, folks? And in fact, let's open it up. What's your prediction for UFC 305? Remember, we will be live for the main fight. Dricus du Plessis up against Israel Adesanya in Perth. That's Sunday morning. Once we get through the second round of the Rugby Championship. So all to play for and to watch. If you're a fan, here on Forever Sports, we've got it lined up for you. I'd be interested to know how you think that one pans out. Of course, a lot was said in the press conference between Dricus and Israel Adesanya. Let's just say they're not good friends in any sort of way. A lot of bad blood. Do you see an early finish there? And on this occasion, the Pumas, via Dimaza there, who took a very big hit from the replacement, Carl Brink. Is there going to be a conversation here? Are the Bulls in a little bit of trouble? They've gone up to Marius van der Westhuizen. Carl Brink could be in all sorts of trouble here. He's just come on the field. And then perhaps tell us what your score prediction is preceding that UFC game between the Springboks and Australia, with all sorts of changes by Dr. Rassie Erasmus. Not just playing the game to participate. We know these players, the whole group of Springboks, are able to step in. I'd be interested to know your thoughts. Was it the right move to develop the depth in Springbok rugby? Do they have enough to overcome the woeful Wallabies? I feel they do. In Rassie we trust. As they say, hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie. He's in your head. He's in your head, Rassie, Rassie, Rassie. I wish I could get into the head of Marius van der Westhuizen here. Very big hit on the eighth man, Kwanda Dimaza. We hope he's all okay. The time is off for the moment. The Bulls up by 26 points to 12. But at one stage, scoring a point a minute at 26-0, and then just before half-time, the Pumas finally broke the damn wall. And then after half-time, wonderful vision from Ross Broad, freed up Darren Adonis, and the Pumas all of a sudden back in the conversation here. The Bulls get Cornell Smith back. We hope it's not what you gain on the swing, you lose on the roundabout. Time is still off for the moment. Remember, our captain Stevie P will be live for the All Blacks hosting Argentina in the second game of the Rugby Championship at 9:05. The build-up will obviously be before then, and then the big one is the Springboks in Perth against Australia at 11:45. There will be a build-up, of course, for that. But you'll be in safe hands with Stevie P. And then Sunday morning, just after 6 a.m. South African Standard Time, for the middleweight championship of the world, it's going to be Dricus du Plessis, the middleweight champion, up against Israel Adesanya, putting South Africa on the map. And if my memory serves me correct, we're going to have a couple of Springboks walking Dricus out to the octagon on Sunday. Sunday morning for us, Saturday evening in Las Vegas, Sunday afternoon in Australia. The time is irrelevant. The moment is what matters. And it's a big one for South Africa. The crowd, of course, here in support of the home side have had pretty much little to cheer for, but there's still a lot to play for. But Demaza is going to go off the field. It looks like it was just a rugby collision. But he will not take any further part in the game, Kwanda Demaza. We hope all is okay with you, brother. And we're going to restart with the Puma scrum. No foul play according to the referee. It's Ross Broad to feed for the Pumas just inside the Bulls 22, just off centre field. The Bulls back to a full complement of 15, but a massive scrum from the Pumas and playing under advantage here. It's Stefan Coetzee who comes off his right wing looking for work. Wonderful work there from Varsity. Getting it to just within 5 meters. The Pumas now looking to turn the tables here. Ross Broad. He's met hard on defense by Sintu Manjezi. But the Pumas still under an advantage. It's a new advantage, in fact. The Bulls caught offside of that ruck. But things have really started to turn in terms of the tide here. Pick up from Malemba Mpofu. They're only 2 meters out, the Pumas here. Ross Broad. Big pass again. Clinton Swart takes it off 9 and scores the try. The Pumas are right back in it. They're up to 17 points. And it's Clinton Swart, the try scorer, who will have the opportunity to add the extra 2. 1 from 2 up to this point. But 10 out of 10 for finishing there. He had some work to do, but found himself getting through Keegan Johannes there and Kanan Moody. Just not able to come off his wing in time. And it's Clinton Swart who has to regather his composure. Takes one last look at the post. One last look at the ball. It's sailing. It's sailing. It's wide. He can't convert. So the Bulls still ahead by 9. It's 26 points to 17, however. And the Pumas really are back in this game. Leckerman says, Bulle, Julle, lekker! We need the Bulls to get back on their bicycle now after doing all the hard work in that first half. Was those last 2 minutes post the 40-minute mark when play continued that the Pumas have capitalized with 17 unanswered points. Chamberlain with the restart to Stefan Coetzee. Inside the 22, the Pumas now, are they looking to play? Van Niekerk takes it up hard on the line. Namakaba there with a big tackle on Mpofu. And Ross Broad this time now decides to shape for a kick. Hasn't gone quite where he wants it to, but well taken out of the air from Stefan Coetzee there. Sampi Swickers is hit hard. The big tight head prop. The Pumas, though, have got some wind in their sails now. Have the Bulls played themselves out on their feet here? They're having to defend for dear life. The Pumas playing from within their own half. Ross Broad with a little chip over the top. Who wants it? Tino Swanepoel. He's got it. He has an opportunity for the Pumas. And that's individual brilliance. at its finest. Scrum off to fullback. Tino Swanepoel has split this game wide open with his first Currie Cup try. And he had the pace to burn with that little chip over the top from Ross Broad. And with a half an hour to go, now this game is really opened up. A moment of magic. Kept his eyes on the ball. And skin butter Chamberlain. Good night, Sally. Tino Swanepoel gets in for the try. And the Pumas within 4 with the conversion still to come. Leckerman says, Limpopo, Oregstad, we here. The conversion is good from Clinton Swart. 2 out of 4. But kicking it where it matters now, all of a sudden, they're within 3. Now the 3-pointers are back in the conversation, just like that. Tell me from where in the world you're watching. Tell me what your score prediction is. Whether it's the Bulls this evening, what a crack of a game here to open up round 7. Whether it's the All Blacks, we do rugby here, we do sport on Forever Sports. Of course, I said the UFC will be on Sunday. What are your thoughts as the Bulls restart here? It's Ross Broad again. It's contestable here. Taken in the air by Devin Williams. The Bulls have to respond now. The tails are up here for the Pumas. And taken up by Jacques van Rooyen. Janus Kirsten looking for space for Sibongile Novuka. It's a turnover. The Pumas just look like they wanted a little bit more. Tino Swanepoel goes in to play halfback. And they've turned it over, the Pumas. Just like this game has pretty much turned on its head. It's Lungiso who looks to break away. What a wonderful tackle around the ankles from Cornell Smith. Keeping him at bay. The Pumas looking. Trying to get over the advantage line there, but Mpofu was met hard. Broad to Clinton Swart, who's put it high. The chase is on from Stefan Kutsia. Taken from Chamberlain, and away comes Chris Barron-Smith. Jacques van Rooyen. There's space now sent to Manjesi. Can they free up space on this right-hand side? Manjesi from Nizam Kar. Kanan Moody with a lovely ball. Kanan Moody to Devin Williams. The Bulls respond. Because that's what they do. Lovely ball from Kanan Moody to Devin Williams. And the Bulls get try number 5. And just keep this space between the two sides. Back of the hand from Kanan Moody, the Springbok. And obviously, Devin Williams has the pace to burn. We know he's no stranger to the Mbombela Stadium. But in the colours of blue, he goes over for the try. And the Bulls, with the conversion to come, are clear by 7 points for the moment, with the possibility from Keegan Johannes to make it 9. It should be a formality, Johannes. Over. 25 minutes to play, but wonderful support running from Sentu Manjesi, but the ball out the back of the right hand from Kanan Moody was sublime. The finish, exciting from Devin Williams. And the Bulls are not done yet, but what a game we have here to open up round 7. of the Carling Black Label Currie Cup. The restart from Swat to Nizam Kar. He's putting in a shift this evening, the captain. Keegan Johannes at the base. He puts it high, but it's gone nowhere near where he wanted it to. And Kutsia. Visanti for the Pumas. It's a knock-on advantage in favour of the Pumas as they look to play here. Ross Broad, advantage is over for the moment. Chris Barron Smith there could have been a bit of trouble. Defensively there, just going a little bit high. Where are we watching from, folks? Where in South Africa, where around the world? To everyone tuned in, welcome here on Forever Sports. There's a lot lined up for the weekend, but what a way to kickstart the weekend here. The Bulls up by 33 points to 24. And Chris Barron Smith there just putting his hand up saying, that was high, I'm sorry. Then the Pumas will have an opportunity to put this deep into the Bulls 22 via Clinton Swat, which they do. They weren't as efficient in that first half, but it was as if that try just on the stroke of half time. In fact, it was Carl Brink again, living life on the edge, and then there, Chris Barron Smith. Just adjudged to have made a high tackle there. Evert Maritz on the field, some fresh legs in the front row. Sampi Swiggers off the field. Lungisa takes it for the Pumas, but just not efficient. An unforced error knocked on from Lungisa at line-out time. The Pumas won't be capitalising unless they can put the pressure on at scrum time here. But so far, the Bulls still have some breathing room. Up by 9 points as we close off in a couple of minutes the third quarter. But a massive impact just before halftime and then scoring after halftime it had on the Pumas' psyche. They put themselves right back in the game. So all is not said and done here in Nelspruit. The Bulls under pressure at scrum time again. And they're going to concede a penalty. How they're going to fix that, time will tell. Kutazani Mchunu being eaten up there by Etienne Yanaka. And the Pumas will have an opportunity in another line-out set play to get it right this time. Are we going to see a driving maul? So the impact off the bench from the Bulls up to now has not really paid great dividends. The Pumas, with all the grit, all the determination to stay in the fight here, just like we saw with Argentina last week. It's collapsing them all. It's advantage to the Pumas. It's a free play. Ross Broad looking to clear that ball. Can he get it clear to Clinton Swart? It's charged down. It doesn't matter. The Bulls are going to have to be careful here. The referee is definitely not going to have all the patience in the world. We're in the red hot danger zone. Nizam Kar immediately getting a talking to, saying, that's it. Get your plays in order, young man. I'll be dishing out another yellow. Discipline-wise, the Pumas have been pretty good. Up to this point, only conceding 3 penalties. It's just their unforced errors that have been their own undoing. I know I'm harping on about it. As we see some attention to Etienne Janeke. He's been strong at scrum time, decision time for the Pumas here. You kind of wonder if 3 points has any worth at this stage, just to stay within the fight. Tibor Donatus Kuritz says Glen Vista in south of Johannesburg. Go Bulls. Shout out there. Thank you for tuning in. It's just a little over 20 minutes to go. It's the feed. That's good from Edwin Swart. And the Pumas now looking to get some backline players. Stefan Kutsia, amongst others, looking to join. As they look to break away. It's Andre Fouché. They can't hold on to it. It was Andre Leonard just losing it. It bobbled in his hands. And the Bulls will be able to relieve some pressure here. It's a penalty, and Jaco van der Walt on the field will have an opportunity to clear. So wonderful work there from Namakaba in over the ball. When Jean-Ray Leonard was just bobbling it in his hands, he couldn't keep it. And the Bulls do find a clearance on this right-hand touchline to set up a line-out. Starting strongly, they fizzled out to just a little bit, and then some moments of magic from the hand of Kane Moody to Devin Williams. Has restored a little bit of order for the moment. As Keegan Johannes puts it high, but well gathered by Stefan Kutsia. The Pumas in possession. Just inside their own half as they play down this right-hand blind side. It's Ross Broad. Been very eventful, the scrum off for the Pumas this evening. It's gone high from Broad. It's Jaco van der Walt, and this time Sibongile Novuka, the left winger, cleans up for the Bulls. Jaco van der Walt takes it off the scrum off. It's high. Kane Moody looking to get underneath it. Did enough to put the ball loose. Van der Linde. Chris Barron-Smith. Can't find any space on this left-hand touchline. Amongst others was Andre Leonard and Andre Fouché, the replacements of the Pumas. Just saying, you go nowhere, buddy. If we want to get through us, you've got to try another way because this door is shut. As we see the introduction of Silimpilo Gumede for the Bulls. Has had a breakaway season in the Vodacom URC, continuing his rich vein of form. Has even put himself in the Springbok conversation, replacing Namakaba there. Workmanlike effort for the number 6. But what a player to come off the bench the Bulls are going to need. Some wise heads here to close off this game. We call it game management. The Pumas by no means out of this one. That's what I was thinking, Willem. 3 points would have put them within a converted try. They obviously feel confident enough, but it didn't work out on that occasion. There is, of course, still some time to play. Shout out Pumlani, who says, definitely future Bok. I take it you're referring to Gumede. No doubt, he's showing all the qualities And Rassie doesn't mention your name lightly. So the Currie Cup obviously always in the conversation, whether it's a competition worth watching. But no doubt you also see future stars being etched out here, refining their skills. Of course, we'll see Stephen Kitsoff tomorrow for Western Province, just getting that game time after coming back from injury, mixing it amongst the youngsters. Can only do good for the game. And here come the Bulls away now. Novuka can't hold on to it. And Darren Adonis cleans up for the Pumas, feeds Clinton Swart. And the Pumas do find touch. But the Bulls want to play quickly here. Cornell Smith puts his head down and goes route one. He's brought to ground. Jacques van Rooyen takes it up. And then we find Sentu Manjesi in the thick of things. He's had a good game tonight. Kanan Moody, it's just gone through his hands there. We saw some wonderful hands earlier. Kanan Moody to Devin Williams. Now Devin Williams to Kanan Moody. Bit of a loose pass. You can't blame Moody for that one. But just coming back to the Currie Cup, we see a lot of players really being able to get some time to put themselves on the map. And that mix between experience and youth, no doubt, definitely builds the depth that we see in South African rugby. The Bulls are going to need a stronger scrum here. Willem Roth says the Bulls better not allow such a comfortable lead to slip during the URC. 2 finals and no cigar. Now they'll be hurting from that one, no doubt. But the Bulls, up to this point in the Currie Cup, are showing their depth, which only serves well for South African rugby. You see the likes of the Sharks and Western Province struggling somewhat. The Lions and the Cheetahs in the conversation at the moment in second and third, respectively. We're playing on from that knock-on from Kanan Moody. It's Ross Broad for the Pumas. And just wasting time there, Kwengile Jadasweni awarding a free kick. And it's Mchunu for the Bulls who takes it up hard. Van der Linde to Nizam Kar, who breaks one. Into the 22 now. Can the Bulls really put some daylight between the two sides? Van der Linde bumps off one. Taking it up to the 5-meter mark. The Bulls still in possession via Janus Kirsten. Having to fight for that one there. Philip Annandale says, Philip from Algeria, welcome. Van der Walt to Chris Barron-Smith. Hits the upright, but wriggles over the try line, and that is try number 6 for the Bulls. Chris Smith, not to be confused with Chris Smith, who was formerly the Bulls fly half. Chris Smith is our inside centre now. Chris Smith is away overseas to Europe. And he's over for the try, our inside centre. And the conversion attempt, the first of the evening for Jaco van der Walt. And the Bulls do have some daylight now. The Pumas were showing some lights at the end of a dark tunnel. But they're going to have to try and put their brights on now because the Bulls are more than 2 scores clear with this conversion. Over. A little over 13 minutes to play. The Bulls up to 40 points here at the Mbombela Stadium. Lovely little short ball from Jaco van der Walt. And Chris Smith finishes that one. The conversion was good from Jaco van der Walt. The Pumas are going to have to respond quickly now to really stay in the fight. They did so well to get within range. We had the conversation earlier when they had the penalty. Should they perhaps have gone for the 3 points? This is where they find themselves. Now we can't live in the past. Martin Jordan says, Kombala. Great to see our Bull supporters here on Forever Sports tuning in, getting behind their team as the Pumas in possession now. Great tackle from Gumede. The Pumas, though, looking to break away by Godlin Masimla. Tino Swanepoel hit hard there. Peak Katlego Letebele with a massive hit. Making his debut, Katlego Letebele there, and really making a statement with that massive tackle. Gumede in the thick of things on defense again. It's a loose ball. It's gone forward. Clinton Swart has got butter in his hands there. He couldn't hold on to it. And the sands of time slowly running out, but Tino Swanepoel would have felt the full might of Katlego Letebele there. He almost folded in him half. Like a Tremazini there. Hello and welcome, Tino Swanepoel. My name is Katlego Letebele. It's a legal tackle. It's a legal rugby collision. And Tino Swanepoel, no doubt, smiling, but feeling it on the inside. Wonderful work from the debutant, Katlego Letebele. Of course, came back from France just recently after getting a bronze medal in the sevens. So wonderful addition to the Bull squad. Making a real statement there with that tackle. Tackle of intent. Saying, I'm here. I want to make my mark. Willem Roth says, I respect Jimmy Stonehouse. What a coach. He keeps taking no-name players and turning the Pumas into a great team. The Wallabies should hire him. Absolutely agree with you. The Pumas aren't always afforded the budget of your bigger unions. No doubt. And winning the Currie Cup is no easy feat. They've done it, the Pumas. It's just to stay consistent at this level. It takes a lot. You need player depth. And it's back to that budget thing, but no doubt shout out to Jimmy Stonehouse. Always punching above their weight. For me, the Griquas have somewhat faded away. We saw them defeat the Sharks early on in the season, but lingering towards the bottom of the table with the Griffins, who are of course winless. Thys Leroux says, Blou Bulle wen, South Africa wen, Driekus, Du Plessis wen ook. I love it. Love the confidence there, Thys Leroux. Surely now that man has all the confidence we need. The Bulls in possession via Devin Williams. Again with that left boot, he just knows. It's like he's got the ball on a string and he directs it like a composer in an orchestra. Devin Williams puts it into touch, finds a blade of grass in field. And Tino Swanepoel coming off the field. One wonders if it was that tackle that had the impact. But I guess to a degree, Pico Sabahle also coming on for a bit of fresh legs. We know he's a finisher. They're going to need that now. Tino's done his job. Can Sabahle pick up where Tino left off? As the Pumas look to kick it away, but well taken in the air by Novuka. But into touch, just running out of space there was Sibongile Novuka. Under a bit of pressure in the air. But just under 10 minutes to play here in Nelspruit. It's the Bulls who lead by 16 points. Willem Roth says, Trico Salvin. If you're saying that, guys, it's a 5-round fight. It's a championship fight. In which round is he taking it and how? Is it a knockout? Is it a TKO, a technical knockout, or is it a submission? Me personally, I see Drickus fainting with a little bit of striking work and then taking it to ground. Israel Adesanya, no slouch. It's going to be difficult to take him down. But definitely Drickus has the upper hand when it comes to the groundwork and the wrestling. And then the ground and pound to finish it off, South African style. Soos ons sê, hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie. We've just got that gees. That boerekrag is a real thing. Maybe the world don't know about it, but it's a real thing. Jaco van der Walt for the Bulls. Wonderful counter-ruck from the Pumas. Jadazweni. The referee says we play on Mpofu. Wonderful work from the Pumas to get that steal. Wonderful work from Dewart Maritz, but they've just kicked it away. Letabele now with the dancing feet he's brought to ground. Will we see him stretch his legs? Kanan Moody in tight there looking for some work, but wrapped up in defence. Van der Walt puts it high, but it's too deep. There's no chasers. Clinton Swart will gather. The Pumas still have to score again to at least find themselves getting a bonus point for the 4 tries. For the moment, it's the Bulls who'll walk away with the full house. But I guess, as they say, a lot can happen in 7 minutes. Willem Roth says the Pumas have no money. Wish Super Rugby would allow the Pumas and the Cheetahs to join them. I do see, though, if you look, I saw a news article, the Cheetahs are going to be playing in a competition with Emerging Ireland and the Western Force to keep them playing some rugby. So perhaps the Pumas should join that conversation. But we saw with Australian rugby as well, you don't want to stretch it too wide. The Melbourne Rebels flopped towards the end. We know South Africa look after the big unions, and I guess it's where the money is. It's where the crowd, where they get behind their team. It's not to say, yeah, in Nelspruit, they don't, but it's not a full stadium. So with what they have, the Pumas do really well. And that's what makes it extra special. As they look to break away down this left-hand side, Adonis skins Letabele. Darren Adonis. Here's a try for Godlin Masimla. And the game opens up yet again. Letabele there getting a little bit of a reality check from Darren Adonis. And a scrum off support line, as you would want, as you would need from Godlin Masimbla to finish the try for the Pumas. But what special pace there down this left-hand side from Adonis. And then Devin Williams couldn't make the tackle. Forced Jaco van der Walt into it. And the Pumas are over. Or are they? Yes, some drama, folks. Fino Hubert says, Lekker Bulls, go boys. We're looking at the pass here. If it's forward to Adonis, wouldn't that be heartbreak? For the Pumas there, big hit from Kane Moody. Is the ball forward from the hands? That's for Marius van der Westhuizen to decide. He's got a good wide angle here. All happening. Should they award the try, it'll all open up. No doubt. But they're taking a good few looks at it, which means they pretty much unsure themselves. Don't let me make the decision for you, sir. Marius, very experienced. Surely. I'm going with that's forward. Out the hands. But wonderful work. Just about sad to take it away from Darren Adonis, who left Katlego Letabele for dead there, and then stepped Devin Williams. But the pass is forward out of the hands from David Britt. And you can see the visible disappointment. That would have really put the pressure on the Bulls here. The Pumas have done well to stay in the fight, but just there in the moment where they needed to be efficient, just slightly forward as per Wengile Jadazweni in consultation with Marius van der Westhuizen. And the Bulls breathe a sigh of relief with a little over 5 minutes to go. Come on, why is everyone so quiet here in the comments? You think the Bulls are going to win this one? You reckon the Boks are going to do just enough to beat the Wallabies? If so, by how much? You don't have to give your exact score prediction. You can just say by how much. As the Boks travel to Perth, well, they're in Perth. A lot of South African fans there. How many of the Springboks will go and support and be in the stands at the UFC 305 on Sunday before they travel back and have a day's rest before they prepare for the All Blacks? Once in a lifetime opportunity, seeing our South African middleweight champion of the world lighting up the UFC, and on that occasion from the scrum the Bulls getting the penalty. The Pumas over-eager. And unfortunately, an opportunity here for Jaco van der Walt to perhaps add the 3. He's decided to go for the corner. Tibor Donatus Currit says, your dog is barking, check it out quickly. He never stops barking, brother. His bark is built in with ever-ready batteries. Let me tell you that. The wind could blow and he barks. Unbelievable. But the Bulls in that first half looks like they've done just enough. And they're 7 meters out. Taken by Gumede as they look to set up a driving maul. It's Jacques van Rooyen in control at the back. It's a loose ball and the Pumas all over it. Cornell Smith to Kanan Moody. Did he lose it forward over the line? The Pumas seem to have won the turnover. And Kanan Moody on the try line looked to have been over, but just lost it forward. Heartbreak for the Bulls there. But the Pumas playing on their own line. They have to play for all money now. 3 minutes to play. The best they could possibly do now is play for a bonus point in terms of scoring. 4 tries. The Pumas, the Bulls, will take the full house here. That's my prediction. It's a pretty fair prediction. But that's just because there's a little over 2.5 minutes to play. Eric Davison says, still here cooking my dinner. Go Bulls. First beer, boys. Boom Rots. I hope the Bulls can win the Currie Cup without losing a game. They're on track, brother. They're on track. Tace Leroux says, Australia complain about 14 World Cup players in rugby tomorrow. Do Australia know what a World Cup looks like? Well, they actually don't since 1999. So they just best keep quiet, Tace. I'm with you on that one, 100%. Back in 2018, we were also in that rebuilding phase, but not everybody has a Dr. Rassi. So it took us some time. Well, in fact, we won the World Cup the following year. Australia have Joe Smith. No disrespect to him, a wonderful coach. New Zealand have Scott Robertson. But they own no Dr. Rassi. As we say, he's in your head. He's in your head. Rassi, Rassi, Rassi. And that's the difference. Or as they say, that's the Bradlow's difference. My opinion for tomorrow, hold me to it if you want. Box 32, Australia 13. With the 10 changes. The Box comfortably by 19 points. Willem Roth says Box will win by 16 plus. There we go, brother. We're on the same page. No doubt. The Pumas restart the scrum. After that knock-on just over the try line by Kanan Moody. Stefan Kutsia can't break away. Bumps off. Cornell Smith. But can't get any further. He's got over the advantage line, though. The Pumas are going to have to play with, we just about in the last minute. The Pumas, they've got to throw all they're worth and a little bit more with some spare change at this now. Darren Adonis. He's met hard by Kanan Moody, looking to make up for that knock-on the try line. Porfu's been running hard for the Pumas. But the engine now just not running at full clicks for the Pumas, so they decide to put it to boot. Looking for the 50-50. Go, Buller, let's go! 40 points to 24. Time up on the clock, folks. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you. Do give your final predictions for that Springbok game and UFC before we close off. But unbeaten, the Bulls will remain, travelling to Nelspruit at the Mbombela Stadium and coming away with the full house of points. It's 40 points to 24. 6 tries, plays 3. We thought at 1 minute when the Pumas scored before half-time, and then just after half-time that they were right back in the fight. But there were small moments that changed the game, and one feels that try over the 70th minute that was disallowed from Godlin Masimla going forward out of the hands. Whether that would have been the catalyst for something special here, it's not to be in Nelspruit. The Bulls are victorious by 40 points to 24. Eric Davison says, I'm a UK Bok fan. Hope they take a 35-15 win. Andrew says the Bulls, Springboks and DDP love our pup and flace. There we go, folks. Thank you for tuning in here on Forever Sports for this one. We look forward to an action-packed weekend on Forever Sports. As I mentioned, Stevie P, our captain, will be live for the game between the All Blacks and Argentina at 9:05 with the build-up preceding that. And then, of course, the big one, the Springboks against Australia in Perth at 11:45 with, of course, the build-up for that one. And then the big one will be Sunday morning. I'll be taking you through the main fight, which will be Dricus du Plessis, the middleweight champion of the world, up against Israel Adesanya at UFC 305. Tune in for that one as well here on Forever Sports with me. Tace LaRue says, Dankie for die commentaar. More of here. Lekker aand. Lekker aand for julle. Great evening, great morning, great afternoon. Wherever you tuned in from, it's been an absolute pleasure. From myself, Roots, here at Forever Sports. Until next time, stay tuned.